today I am with Dr. Crivelli. Dr. Crivelli, today I wanted to talk about ketogenic diet. So let me know, what do you think about the ketogenic diet and actually about ketogenic lifestyle?
Well, I am a huge fan of the ketogenic diet, and I'm a huge fan of the ketogenic lifestyle. I want everybody looking at me right here. I'm not perfect, but imagine 3 years ago or so, I was 50 pounds heavier. I was carrying around 50 extra pounds of weight that I didn't need. Mm-hmm. And before I went to chiropractic school, I played college football, I played college rugby, had a couple kids, and you know what they say is that the average dad puts on about 5 pounds of weight a year. Mm-hmm. And when my son was turning about 5 years old, I looked at the scale one day, and here I was, around 280 pounds. Oh, and it was way too much. I had just turned 40 years old, and I said to myself, I cannot go into the next 40 years of my life being so heavy. Being that much weight, weighing that much, has been associated with heart disease, certain types of cancers, slows you down, arthritis. And so I just made that decision right then and there that I was not going to be that size anymore. And so my entire life, I was dancing around with low carb. Well, I want to go low carb. I want to go low carb. And really, when I got serious about it and said, I have to go no carb, zero carb, at least for a little while until I got all that weight off, that made all the difference. And, the ketogenic diet is something that was really, really great for me. It's great for many, many other people, and it's been shown to have so many health benefits, without a doubt.
So maybe Dr. Crivelli, you can tell us more about the science. How do you know that the diet actually works?
I can, yeah. That's one of the things that really fascinated me about it, is why did this thing work when other stuff doesn't work?
Right.
And the answer is, we have to go back even farther now. So let's go back 10,000 years, 20,000 years to when we were walking around as cavemen or women, right? During those times, the sources of sugar or sweet, type of stuff were very rare in the environment. So whenever we would encounter something sweet or a carbohydrate, this was before the advent of farming, so breads and pastas and things weren't easily available. So when we would encounter berries or honey or anything that's sweet, our bodies are wired to really crave it, to really like it, because it was so scarce, right? And as we all know, anything that we eat is a source of energy, and sugar is a rapid source of energy. As soon as we eat it, it gets converted into energy really quick. So that's how we came up as an evolutionary perspective, right? Where we're walking around, we're usually not overweight, we're usually eating leaves and grasses and meats where we could find it. All of a sudden we come upon a beehive or some fruit or something like that, and it's like, wow, our brains just light up, because it's like, this is gonna be the energy I need to take me through the next day. So fast forward, 20,000 years, 10,000 years, and we're never 20 minutes right now from sugar, right? You can walk out the door, walk across the street, go to any convenience store, anywhere, and you are literally 20 minutes, 10 minutes away from sugar. And this is not consistent with how we evolved, right? So our software, our body's software, needs to be updated. And it's not updated right now. And this is why you see all of this obesity epidemic in full bloom here in America, is because we constantly keep consuming these carbohydrates, simple sugars. Even the complex carbohydrates still get turned into energy. So what ends up happening, we start eating all these carbohydrates and sugars, and our body says, all right, this is great, we need this for energy. But then the body says, well, wait a minute, we already have it from the last meal. So then what? Well, go store it, right?
Yeah.
And how does the body store energy? Fat. Right? Our body's not just going to let it go because we're not wired that way. Our bodies want to hang on to all of it. So it's, how do we store this stuff? We store it as fat, and we just keep accumulating it, right? The analogy that I like to tell people is, imagine you have a car, and you're driving around in your car has a gas tank, and all of a sudden, you go into the garage and there's a couple modifications, and now your car has 2 huge reserve gas tanks on the roof of the car. Right? Those reserve gas tanks are totally filled with gas. Well, how do you burn that gas is you have to eventually empty the tank of your car, the one that you're driving. So you have to empty that main tank. But what do we keep doing? We keep driving to the gas station. We keep getting more of it, more of it, more of it. So how can we ever expect to burn that reserve fuel if we keep fueling ourselves with the stuff that we don't need? We already ate it. We're carrying around how much weight in reserve gas tanks, and all we really want to do is burn it. And so you have to stop going to the gas station. Right. You have to do a no carbohydrate, a no sugar time to let our bodies eventually start to burn that reserve, what we have left off. And the key factor in all that stuff is insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin is the hormone that basically drives fat storage. It's the hormone that drives this, sugar. When we eat it, it helps the body to take the sugar into our cells. If we don't have insulin, basically the sugar sits around in our blood, raises our blood sugar, and you become a diabetic. And that's what diabetes is. It's when you don't have insulin, the insulin can't walk the sugar into the body. Well, what we're finding now in all the research, all the studies, is that these insulin spikes, when the insulin goes up and the insulin goes down, the insulin goes up and the insulin goes down, it's really bad for us. It affects our moods, it affects our heart, it affects our heart muscle, it affects certain types of cancers, inflammation, all of it. So we're finding that more and more of these health problems are tied to the release of insulin. And I don't think it's any surprise that you're starting to see spikes in pancreatic conditions like pancreatic cancer, pancreatitis. Our pancreases collectively are constantly pumping out insulin, constantly. And what makes the pancreas pump out that insulin? Eating a carbohydrate, eating a simple sugar. So when we sit with patients and try to get them onto a keto diet, what we say is, listen, your pancreas needs a vacation.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
You have to put your pancreas on a vacation. And people tend to talk about detoxes all the time.
Yes.
I want to do a detox. I want to do a detox. One of the best ways you can detox is let your pancreas take a little vacation and release all of that sugar you've been holding on to in your liver. You'll feel wonderful. That mental fog will just get lifted off of your brain. You'll feel focused. You'll have enough energy.
Right.
And it's really, really, really beneficial.
So the ketogenic diet is not only the weight loss, right? You said there is a
right.
benefits, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What they're finding, the ketogenic diet is, we can use it in the short term for things like short-term weight loss, rapid weight loss, things like that. But if we go back to our old eating habits after we lose a whole bunch of weight, it's not going to do anything. We're just going to put all the weight back on. I didn't go back to my old eating habits, and I've managed to keep largely all of the weight off. So
that's amazing.
The ketogenic lifestyle is something that can be considered a long-term thing. Short-term intense bursts of ketogenesis are really great to take weight off, but to stay in this, what we would call low insulin state, right? Or a low carbohydrate state after you've achieved all your regular goals is something that we should all strive for, without a doubt. Yeah.
Wow. All right, so thank you so much. I am so impressed about your knowledge. And
it's my pleasure. Trust me, I wouldn't be here sitting here talking about this if it didn't work for me. Like I said, I was looking around for stuff, and I was trying this and trying that and saying, well, I got to get this weight off. I got to get this weight off. But it was really the ketogenesis and the ketogenic lifestyle and the keto way that really took it off, and it busted all my cravings for all the other stuff, so that now I can continue in my regular life and be keto consistent, because I'm not eating anything because I don't want to eat anything. I'm not eating as many complex carbs or even simple sugars. I just stay away from it. My brain has been rewired in a sense, and that's good. That's kind of like a software update.
This is what we all want to be, right?
We all would love it. We all would love it. And it's one of those things. It's easy to sort of understand, but when you're into it, some people have really rapid success and it's easy for them. Others, it's not so easy. The most important thing is that, especially now, you have support everywhere you turn, right? You've seen patients and you've counseled people who are trying to lose this weight. They sometimes can't do it alone.
Right.
So someone like you is so valuable to actually have in people's lives, to make a difference, to sort of help them, support them, kind of get through. Because there are tough days. There's days when I was hungry. There's days when I was craving apple pie and sugar and all the other stuff. And thankfully I had a great coach. I had another doc who was helping me out. And that's what everybody needs. A lot of times when we get together, we sort of harness the power of collective action, it really makes a difference. And so to have a good support team is
very important.
It's invaluable, without a doubt. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
To you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.